When creating work packaging in Synchro, users typically start with defining the path of construction. Creating the path of construction definition is very similar to what we do in the 4D planning process. The benefits of doing this in Synchro is not only that you can see your plan visually, but you can also create different scenarios to come up with the optimum path of construction by detecting out-of-sequence activities. This allows you to resequence when they're required, improving the bad logic, and best of all, you can do all this in Synchro without leaving the application. Once the path of construction is complete, you can easily create different 3D filters in Synchro to show the work area boundaries or show the boundaries of the multi-discipline CWAs. The same technique can also be applied to create 3D filters for each CWP discipline. You may also create different layouts to quickly switch between the discipline views. In this layout, we can easily identify all components that are in the work packages and the components that are not by using the color coding. Now, let's take a look at how to create an IWP within the CWP boundary in Synchro. For this example, we are focusing on piping with carbon steel material. We can simply select a component from the 3D model. If we want to select entire isometric, we can simply choose from the properties provided. Then the next step is to add these components to the IWP. To estimate the number of man-hours required for this package, we can run an estimation script embedded in the application. In this case, the IWP requires 409 man-hours to complete. Next, we will export out the material list required for this work package. We will filter the IWP and select the task usage spreadsheet. Then we can export the material resources. We will save the material list file directly into the Synchro document repository, which is already synchronized locally within your desktop. The recommended best practice is that the files and folders are organized using the same IWP names. This will make searching and navigation easier in the next workflow. Let's go back to Synchro 4D Pro. Now let's take a look at how we can use the Synchro form technology to connect your IWP to documents, drawings, digital workflows, and other required processes. We will select the form definition. In this case, we will select IWP. Next, we will fill out the required information to complete the form. Now we can select the assignee or a specific role for approval process within the IWP release plan. There are JHA and e-permit requirements in this process, which we will skip for now. We can select Add Files to link the documents stored in the Synchro repository to the IWP. Then we will browse and link the material list to the IWP that we prepared earlier. Synchro allows us to link more than one file to the IWP. In this exercise, we can also link the ISO drawings required to perform the IWP. Now that we have completed the creation of the IWP, in this step we will demonstrate how we can expose your IWP visually by increasing the transparency of the surroundings, and use the snippet to preview the location of the IWP in the model. This process is quite straightforward as Synchro knows what components belong to what work packs. Simply identify the inverse objects and select the color we want. Here you can see they are all grayed out now. We can now save and are all set. Once we save this to the cloud, we can click on an IWP and we will see the snippet from the web browser. A very important process in work packaging is the ability to review and check all constraints that may prevent the IWPs from being ready for the field. Having the full capability of CPM scheduling within the application allows Synchro users to create different filters to show the look-ahead planning or create short-range production planning using any date range we may prefer. Let's step back and review the material status for the piping. By using the color coding, we can see what materials are available and what materials are not. When using Synchro to manage the work package constraints, we will combine the short-range production planning window with the soundness index. Soundness index can be automated using Synchro script. In this case, we'll use it to read the material status information. Soundness can be calculated where, if soundness is equal to 0, then there are no constraints and IWPs are ready for the field. If soundness is greater than 0 or equal to 1, then the IWPs are not ready for the field. This is another helpful feature in Synchro where we are taking advantage of the CPM scheduling capability. We can easily show all the IWPs that are in the critical path, and using the soundness index, we can simultaneously understand whether the IWPs are ready for the field or not. Now, let's look at how we can use Synchro to manage issues that we have found in the field. For this example, we have an issue on the drawing in the work package. We can easily find the work package by using the filter option. Now we can open the work pack and see the drawing attached to it. The drawings can be found in the attachments list. Once we find the drawing we are looking for, we can open it in the markup mode. Here we can add a cloud around the issue on the drawing. For the example on this drawing, the routing of the piping is incorrect. Next, we can create an issue directly from our markup, and we will give the issue subject name the same as the work pack name. I will copy and paste the work pack name, fill out the description and other information like issue type, issue priority, and assign it to the correct person with a due date. Now the issue has been created. Next, we can link this work pack to the issue. With this, we will get the complete information for this whole work pack. Now let's look at how we can execute our work packs in the field. We can see the EWP register in the web browser. We can select a work pack and it will identify that we need an e-permit to perform the work. When we set up an electronic permit system in Synchro, we can simply escalate the work pack to access the e-permit system. Many of the fields can be automatically pre-populated. We will define the start date and time of our permit, and we will fill out the rest of the required information. Now we can select the assignee and the due date to finish it up. This is one of the clever features in Synchro where we may create a hybrid map and 2D plan view of our project. We can assign the permit to a specific area, and in this case, we are assigning the permit to Area 3. Then save the form or submit the form to the workflow for approval process. The electronic permit register can be accessed from the web browser. Again, we can view all permits on the map. As we see, there are 3 active permit requests in Area 3. This should make the permit process more manageable, increase efficiency, and improve safety. Now, let's take a look at how we can use Synchro for progress tracking. We can use resource statuses to help us track progress in the field, such as task % complete, material procurement, and field inspections. These are just a few of the construction workflows that resource statuses can help us visualize. First, we will need to create the resource statuses required for the project in 4D Pro. Next, we can assign the % complete to each status. Once we have our resource statuses created and set up, we can start assigning them to our resources and assigning the responsible team members to the work packs. Now that we have everything set up in 4D Pro, we are ready for updates from the field. Our team in the field can search for tasks assigned to them and update the progress from their mobile devices such as a phone or tablet. Once they select the task, they can choose from the material resource assigned to the task and update the progress accordingly. Once all the updates are complete, they can sync the updates back to 4D Pro for the scheduler or whoever is responsible for the schedule to update. Once the updates have been processed in 4D Pro, these updates will reflect in Synchro Control and the Field app for the rest of the construction team to view.